Hey guys, I'm back. Checked twice yesterday, once in the morning, once in the evening, and there wasn't anything really noteworthy to make a video about. I mean, everything's noteworthy, but nothing that out of the extraordinary norm that we've been experiencing or witnessing. But last night, and as I was made aware of this when I went onto Facebook, and one of my friends, Brandy, she had put up a little latest ISWA run on the Z cut. No, it was on the Y cut, I think. But at any rate, last night at about 2013 UTC, so take 5 off of that. So it would have been about 3 p.m. yesterday afternoon Eastern Standard Time, or Eastern Daylight Time. The solar wind really picked up, and I mean picked up. So at 2013, we got, and this is all being measured inside here, keep in mind, because I've showed many times, and I'll show you again in a minute on Discover. Here's the solar wind speed, kilometers per second, still in the 300s, even below 300. Low 300s or high 200s. That was all day yesterday. So at 20, when this event started, the solar wind speed was around 300. So this solar winds that we're getting here, these numbers, and I would suggest you click on this box over here and look at this full screen. You'll be able to see this a lot easier. But these are all being recorded by these GOES 13 and 14 satellites that are in geosynchronous orbit around the Earth at about 22,236 miles. So all this ISWA data, integrated space weather analytics, their analysis, is all coming from these satellites. So these solar wind numbers, they're not coming from our sun, they're coming from Nemesis, which is behind. So watch the arrows. You can see they're pointing toward the Earth. And that's generating this solar wind. It's up to 961 kilometers per second. So 400 kilometers per second is about 1,000,000 miles an hour. So let's play this through. We'll click it through. And it goes to 1053, 1056. This is in 4-second increments. 1141. We got a bunch of plasma discharging. That's the blue from the Earth. So we'll click this one up. Look at that. That was at 2017. Crazy stuff there. There's the Earth trying to ward this stuff off by these polar cap field lines closing. And I think they're even closing. There's like garnering some of these blue field lines, closing them off. Because we're not seeing a whole lot of, well, maybe it could be just all the black polar cap ones. They're closing, so the Earth's trying to garner some energy to expel all this plasma and solar wind that's being generated. That's at 2029. 2029, see how it's trying to get rid of it? Plasma's going out. Look at the solar wind number though, 1425. So at 2013 it was 961. Jumped to 1053, 1056, 1141. It's up to 1425. That's the highest I've ever seen. But Mr. Happy said that he saw it on September 11th. It was over 1400. I think it said 1410. Then it went to 1185, 1408. These are all still 4-second increments. There's no missing time in here. 1027, 1218, 1071, 1149, 1460, 1506, 1393, 1078, 1192, 10, and look at that one, 1865. That's at 2145. Now, as I was stepping through this stuff, it almost looked like these things were going in reverse. I don't know if you'll be able to follow what I'm saying. And I don't even know if I'm going to be able to say it right, but normally these things buck up and then expel stuff that way. It looks like they're bucking up and things are coming this way due to this heavy solar wind speeds. I'll play this back and forth a few times. See what I'm saying? Okay, there's the Earth's field lines trying to buck up, and normally that would be going this way. So if we play it forward, it doesn't go that way, it goes the other way. It's like it's almost in reverse. You see what I'm saying? All these interplanetary magnetic field lines are getting all jumbled up. So we got some serious stuff going on here. So we'll take it back to 2145 where we're at on the 1865. That's the highest I saw. Then there's a 1701 up here as well. So that's 1865. So this started at 2013. So it's over a minute long now, where you've got these crazy wind speeds. They're 1070, 1066, 13. So they remain in high for quite a while. Normally you might see it for a 4-second increment, but never this long. So it's really puzzling to try to figure out. There it finally went back down to 872, but that's still high. And then it quieted down for a little bit, and it's back up into 7s, 8s, 9s, and it's up to 1250 again at 013. This is right past the hour, midnight hour, 1054. See, 1031. So this thing started back on the event, back on 2000 hours. So that's 4 hours into it now. We're still getting some serious high wind speeds. There was a 12 something, 12, 12, 13, 11, 89, 15. There's another big one. And look at the signature on that. All these there's normally arrows. They all went to chevrons, whatever that means. I don't know. Some type of an equal pressure situation, or I don't know. Let's pop this one up to 0117. It's really hard to tell. We'll just pull this one through to show you what's going on. Okay, this is 2013. That's when we had that 1865. 1865. It's better to pull this, but look how it's getting boxed in. That whenever I see this box come in, that's when there's serious pressure and serious electron action hitting the back of our magnetopause. This false bow shock that had to develop. See these lines here? They come out, extend out that way. That's the back of our magnetosphere trying to buck up and blow off all this extra energy and pressure coming from the backside. You can see we get the blacks and the purples. That's super serious high electron energy, and this is so high it's just been whited out. So I was trying to figure out what the heck is causing this. And what I came up with is well, it has nothing to do with the proximity of the Nemesis binary twin sun, because the closer the sun is, the more the to an object, the slower the solar wind speed is, because the solar wind only gains momentum after it leaves the sun. When it leaves the sun, it's only going about 10 kilometers per second. So here's what I'm thinking. It's from a coronal hole. The somehow we got linked up, the Earth did, with the coronal hole stream from Nemesis, and that creates high-speed solar wind streams. I'm running out of time, so I got to speed this up. And as you can see back here, and look in the description box, pull up the Solar Ham Space Weather tutorial. Anything above 180 indicates a connection with something behind the Earth. 180 phi angle is a direct connect from the sun to the Earth. The 0 phi angle is a direct connect from the Earth to the sun. Now, as you can see, they don't even have 0 on this graph anymore because the connections have been so completely, almost all above 180. So they bumped it up to 400 just to see what was going on. I guess see exactly what the phi angle is, as it's gone above 360 numerous times. There you can see it's up to 377, 399, somewhere up in there. But anyway, so somehow we got connected with a coronal hole stream. So this event started around 2013. And as you can see, we got a 301, so we're connected to the Nemesis system, and it drops off for about an hour, less than an hour maybe. Goes back to maybe an Earth-Sun Sun-Earth connection, but then it jumps back up again. So what I think happened is we got hooked up with a coronal hole stream, coupled with us being directly connected to Nemesis from an interplanetary magnetic field line, and that's what happened. So you can see this event still going on. It finally started to quiet down around 0200 today. So that was a 6-hour event, and you can step it through. You can see the wind speeds are back down. So I think what happened was we got hooked in with a coronal hole from Nemesis, coupled with a direct connect with the intermagnetic field lines, because we have been connected with Nemesis pretty much all the time. Those phi angles have been above 180 pretty much all the time. So let me just keep pulling this around. So if you can see what I'm saying, well, see, that's when it started to go back to normal around the O2. Well, normal. This isn't normal, of course. I mean, we still got the Earth trying to expel all this stuff, and the field line's closing, and everything's jumbled up like crazy. By no means normal, but the solar wind coronal hole connection abated around 0200 today. Oh gosh, I only have a minute left. So pull up these ISWA runs if you want. You don't really see anything telling on these folk radiation belts, but as you can see, the magnetopause is going up and down, and it's not being buffeted by our solar wind. What I think's happening is it's being drawn in whenever Earth has to expel this energy from the backside, so that draws everything in toward this way and then goes out that way. That's how I read that. Real quick, there's the GOES 16 run for this morning, or last night around 11 p.m. Still showing up the plan. There's ACE last 24 hours, still had that one small gap, so that's a data gap. Same time around 2200 UTC. So I'm running out of time. God bless. I'll make another one later. Peace, and I'm out.